So that's why we have, have these minimum holding periods for measuring performance. Time is things I must endure and things I must experience. So if an investor could sleep through all the drama of the crash or a market downturn and all the news events and wake up 5 or 10 years later, do you think they'd behave a little differently based upon the charts that I just showed you? Absolutely. Now hopefully you guys will learn these lessons, and Scott and I and you guys will have the proper behavior to get these investment returns. But I can tell you, most investors that don't have this education will not. Absolutely not. So what would it take to destroy it all? We know, that's always a possibility, right? And you never know from any time. We could have... Yeah, I know. If that happens, right. Global thermonuclear war, it's always a possibility. You could have a pandemic. Aliens could come out. Now, I don't know if that's what aliens look like, but the world's probably not ending today, and short-term movements are random and unpredictable. So the only appropriate thing to do is rebalance on the dips. That's the appropriate thing. So it brings us to our last topic, is the rebalancing. So you and I don't have to predict the future and guess right twice every time. If you're market timing, you have to guess when to get in and when to get out. And not only that one time, but every time for decades. It's just not possible. It's not realistic. So rebalancing is a discipline, not a prediction. I've heard the comment says, John, you're trying to forecast the future. You're selling high and you're buying low. That's forecasting the future. It's not the forecast that's the trigger. The trigger is your portfolio's out of balance. Okay, if you're in a 50-50 portfolio and it goes to 55-45, the trigger is to get it back to 50-50. Not that I'm going to think that Europe is going to be doing better over the next 6 months. That's not the trigger. So in your investment policy statement, we have a rebalancing section that says, rebalancing techniques will be used to establish target percentages in each investment, and acceptable deviation from targets will be set. Royal American Financial Advisors will seek to rebalance this portfolio in a low-cost fashion. That's why we're able to use those funds now. Rebalancing will be employed to first keep portfolio risk parameters in line. When Royal American Financial Advisors rebalances an account, it sells holdings that are appreciating in value to buy other holdings that may be declining in value. This investment philosophy helps the portfolio to be positioned in various asset types so that when the asset type becomes profitable, the account is positioned to take advantage of the upturn. We want to be in the various different asset classes before they have their big upturns. So rebalancing is just selling a little bit and buying a little bit. Nothing dramatic. So we practice what we teach. I own these diversified allocations. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay prudent, stay diversified in many asset classes, not just stocks, stay disciplined and patient, rebalance small accounts out of hot asset classes and funds, rebalance small amounts into down asset classes and funds, keep my risk consistent, and I'm going to avoid forecasting, predicting, guessing, and market timing.